Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. To my European, my Asian bros, it is good to be with you again. Today is going to be a little bit of a shorter video. I have a meeting in about an hour that I have to attend, but there is plenty to talk about. But before we begin, as always, a great way you can support this channel is hitting that like button, subscribing to the channel if you haven't subscribed, and leaving a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you had for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Aside from burritos, obviously you had burritos. But anyway, to begin, Rocket blasts off in massive gamma short squeeze, forcing another hedge fund VIP liquidation. Rocket, symbol RKT, is all over the news right now, and all over Wall Street bets. And you guessed it, Rocket was the number one most talked about stock on Wall Street bets yesterday. So people are going crazy about Rocket. I'm sure you're wondering, if you have been following the news, whether now is a good time to get into RKT. So let's see what Zero Hedge has to say here. The Q4 results were good, analyst Donald Fandetti, but not good enough to support this move, which is the third trading day after earnings. I mean, that's pretty much what anyone would say right now, as deep OTM calls, gamma squeeze were bid in size, 45s through 50s expiring in 2 weeks. Reddit comment volume for Rocket surged by nearly 19% of total comments on the forum Wall Street Bets Tuesday, according to Swaggy Stocks. I need to check that out. A ticker and sentiment tracker, Swaggy Stocks. All right, I'm going to remember that. Rocket was the fifth most mentioned company on the market social media platform StockTwits today at 3% of 271,666 stories carried on Bloomberg. It was quite a run. The third straight day of gains, pushing RKT up over 110%. Ehor, largely thanks to massive short interest, Ehor of GameStop fame, says 49.7 shares shorted, 45.83% of float, 31.42% S3 SI float, etc., etc. Lots of shares shorted, causing squeezes to happen. So here's a chart of Rocket. We're going to take a look at this in a little bit. Notably, as Rocket has soared, it appears hedgies were caught offside and forced to dump some of their favorites once again, as Rocket shares became extremely hard to borrow, etc., etc. Talked about crypto here. Okay, so anyway, Rocket is the new GME, right? And I'm being a little sarcastic when I say that. What I have found with all of these stocks that become new memes is that we have a tendency of wanting to look for and find the next GameStop. And so is Rocket the next GameStop? I have no crystal ball, obviously. My word to you in this video is for entertainment purposes only. Do your own research before investing your hard-earned money. I would encourage you to stay away. I think we are near the end point. All right, here's some thoughts for Rocket and why I think you should stay away. I got on Wall Street Bets. I looked at some due diligence, some research, and the best research that I could find was somebody who called this a few days ago, and he said that he could see Rocket getting up to about $70 a share later this week. Which Rocket right now, it closed at $41.60 yesterday. Oh wow, okay. It's down pre-market. Last I saw, this was up to about $46 pre-market, and now it's down pre-market. So this person says $71 a share for Rocket. If you remember from GameStop, what were we talking about? We were legitimately talking about $1,000 not being a meme, $10,000 not being a meme. And this person is saying that $71 is like not a meme. 71's not a meme. Rocket's at 41 right now. Let's say this person's right and it does go to $71. You want to take that risk? Do you want to take that risk? This is looking a lot like Tilray And the weed stocks, the day they crashed, pre-market, Tilray got up to over, like, I want to say $75 a share. And then before the market even opened that day, it went negative pre-market. They went in the red, just like here, just like Rocket right now. And then it crashed. And it was over. And so every sentiment that I have seen with meme stocks, my guess right now is that the party is over. I think you're gambling if you get in. No matter what, you're gambling. And here's my message to you again. Anytime you see something like this, whoop, you know what? I mean, you should have gotten in around here, $24 on March 1st, or here, $21.85 on February 26th, but not here. It's time to sell. My second rule of engagement, you can see that on this channel or on my TikTok channel. My second rule of engagement with Wall Street Bets. Anytime you see a Wall Street Bets meme stock pumped up like this, hit that sell button. I learned that lesson the hard way with Jinko Solar. I saw it shoot up like crazy. I bought in near the top and I lost $2,000. I learned my lesson with QuantumScape and saw 25% gain, 26, 30% gain in a single day, and I hit the sell button and I sold pretty much at the peak. If you sell now, you will probably be selling at or near the peak. Stay away. Okay. The meme. Oh, we have become so mainstream. This is hilarious. Day trading Reddit readers nearly crashed the stock market. Now they're in an ETF. Oh man, this is hilarious. All right, if you sat out the GameStop soap opera, never fear, you can get the same strategy with a little bit more diversification in this new fund. Dave Portnoy, why am I not surprised that Barstool is behind a lot of this? Or I don't even know, but I did read this article already. But all right, anyway, if you thought an ETF made up of the buzziest stocks as determined by social media chatter seemed like the natural conclusion to late January's Reddit-fueled roller coaster ride through the stock market, you were right. On Thursday, asset manager Van Eck will launch the Van Eck Vectors Social Sentiment ETF, which offers exposure to stocks with the most bullish investor sentiment and perception. On Tuesday, however, Van Eck's plans to roll out the fund in the standard orderly fashion fell victim to the curse of 2021. Dave Portnoy, founder of Barstool Sports and the self-proclaimed king of the retail trading boom, tweeted an elaborately produced emergency press conference video to debut the ETF. I'm not going to click on the video, but okay, all right, here's the, I've been wondering what the name of the ETF is. It's BUZZ. I didn't mean to click on that. BUZZ. So look up the stock ticker BUZZ, the BUZZ ETF. Portnoy is a shareholder in the company that created the index that underlies the fund. A spokesperson for Van Eck confirmed, though the company did not respond to a query about whether or not it had a role in the stage press conference. I'm guessing they didn't. So anyway, BUZZ, lots of questions around this right now. Remember this. Congress is still trying to figure out who to blame for all the GameStop madness. They are legitimately thinking that retail is to blame for the GameStop madness. And why not? Because they're a bunch of idiots. So why would they not have trouble with the BUZZ ETF? This is, as of right now, a very murky ground that Van Eck and Barstool Sports and Dave Portnoy, that they're walking on. Of course they're going to have trouble. But I wish them the best. I hope this ETF launches. It's not entirely what you think it is based on, retail sentiment. I mean, here's some of their holdings that they're probably going to have as permanent. What do we have? I mean, we have another sort of like a Cathie Wood type thing here. What do we have? Twitter, Facebook, Amazon, DraftKings, which I don't think Cathie Wood holds, but Tesla, I mean, obviously, Penn National Gaming. All right, but then also ExxonMobil and BlackRock are in this fund. But I mean, here's something that I thought was kind of interesting. Perhaps ironically, the fund is expected to rebalance once a month, which is frequent compared to most ETFs, Rosenbluth noted, perhaps too infrequently to capture the massive moves in popular stocks. And I would say that that's actually true, that is too infrequent. I mean, in the last month, we've seen GameStop, obviously. We've seen the weed stocks. We now see Rocket. We've seen things like that. These things happened on a daily, maybe a few days in cycles, a few day cycles. And so for them to be updating every month, it's a fun concept. It's not anything that I am going to be looking at to mitigate any kind of risk. I just thought, we have come full circle and here we are now. So anyway, moving on, not a lot to talk about with Bitcoin today. It's great to see Bitcoin went down about 47,000, a little over 47,000 yesterday. And overnight, we're about to hit 52,000. Again, this may be the last time that you will have seen sub 50,000 Bitcoin. We crossed 20,000 once, like literally one time. We crossed 30,000 2 or 3 times back and forth. We crossed 40,000 2 or 3 times back and forth. We have now crossed 50,000 for the 3rd time. This may be it. If you saw some of the stuff that I shared yesterday, I mean, April, I really believe in April we could see $100,000 Bitcoin. So, as always, now's a great time to get in. Once we get to 100,000, maybe it's a time to cool off a little bit. I do see potentially some kind of significant correction at $100,000, but $100,000 is not the end. By any means, by no means is $100,000 the end. So here we are with Bitcoin. We just hit 52,000. There is a sell wall there, and we're gonna go down from here a little bit, and then eventually push through that. 52,000 is pretty significant for resistance. Crossed it right now, and I would guess, we did cross, but we're gonna go down a little bit. But who knows? Who knows? Some other crypto news that I did want to share. Grayscale adds 174,000 Litecoin to its Litecoin trust. If you feel like you've missed out on Bitcoin, which I hope you don't, but if you do and you're looking in another direction, obviously I think Ethereum is a great buy. But Litecoin, I've been hearing a lot of buzz with Litecoin lately, and I wouldn't be surprised if there was some heavy upward movement with Litecoin. It's been relatively quiet in comparison to other cryptos, and it is a very large crypto asset, and it's one of the oldest. And so I do think that there's some catching up that Litecoin needs to do. Grayscale added, in the last month, they purchased 174,000 Litecoin. That is approximately 80% of all the Litecoin mined in the last month. And so they're getting heavy into Litecoin. I mean, they're already heavy into Litecoin, etc. If you don't know who Grayscale is, they are the largest holder of Bitcoin in the world, and most likely the largest holder of crypto in general in the world. I mean, let's see what we have here for the amount of Bitcoin that they hold in their trust. 31.2 billion. Is that AUM? I'm assuming that's Australian. I've heard, and I'm struggling to do the math right now, that sounds about right, that they hold a little under 1 million Bitcoin, which is amazing. And, I mean, they just keep adding. They have slowed down a little bit lately, but they hold a ton. All right, here we go. So 665,000 Bitcoin. They are the largest in the world. I thought it was more than that, but maybe, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what that... Maybe their goal is to get to 1 million. Maybe that's what I've heard. Ethereum, 3.17 million Ethereum. This is just massive amounts of crypto. You can trade Grayscale on the stock market, and I would say that this is the closest thing that is closer to 100% correlated to Bitcoin than anything else I've found. There are plenty Bitcoin correlated stocks, but they tend to swing in different directions, like MicroStrategy, like Riot Blockchain, like WBuy500.com, but Grayscale is the most correlated that I have found. And so check out Litecoin if you feel like you missed out, but I hope you don't feel that way. Bitcoin is the future. All these other coins, who knows what's going to last over the next 10 and 20 years. Bitcoin will last, okay? So, but if you're looking for short gains, for sure, Litecoin. Some interesting tweets that I saw. I just wanted to share these things, and then we'll be done for today. William Clemente III, never heard of this guy, but I like this tweet. Dividing all the land in the world by 21 million, which is how much Bitcoin there will be in existence. Owning one Bitcoin is the equivalent of owning 6,000 acres of land. Why am I sharing this right now? Here's why. Hal Lindsey, very notable voice in economics in crypto. When Bitcoin was first launched, Hal Lindsey predicted that if there was some kind of mass adoption, that Bitcoin could end up equaling the amount of assets in the entire world. Okay? So, and that's mind-boggling to think about. He quantified, this was 10 years ago, he quantified the total assets in the world equaling a point where Bitcoin from at 10 years ago's prices would have equaled about $10 million. And so this is the kind of mindset that if you're talking about owning Bitcoin and whether or not you are early or late, you are still so unbelievably early. Let's say that Hal Lindsey is correct. Let's say that Bitcoin, or maybe it's just all of crypto in general, one day equals all of the assets in the world. Guess what? We are near a $1 trillion market cap. All of the assets in the world are probably $500 billion, maybe more than that at this point in time. We're getting towards $1 quadrillion. Perhaps the market cap of all of crypto or Bitcoin itself will one day equal $1 quadrillion. And I'm not going to do the math right now, but 1 quadrillion divided by 21 million, there's the price of one Bitcoin. And so I don't know. Just an interesting tweet. And here's another tweet. I just thought this was funny. Here's $1 billion of gold in the left picture, and then $1 billion of Bitcoin. Beep boop beep. So it's funny. This is playing off the argument that gold is difficult to store, to hold, to transfer, and Bitcoin solves a lot of those problems. I agree with that. I agree with that sentiment. I think that this is an appeal, not the appeal, but an appeal to Bitcoin. So good illustration here. This Twitter account is pretty funny, and they're very new, and they've already grown to 195.1 thousand followers. I'd recommend checking them out. One other tweet for perspective here. Breaking: sources inside MassMutual tell me the insurance giant is very happy with the performance of their Bitcoin. And this may be the first time you're hearing this. MassMutual? Really? MassMutual? I didn't know that they had Bitcoin. Exactly. They're very happy with the performance of their Bitcoin position, and they've begun further allocation, but they wish not to publicize it. Here's the deal. All right, for every Tesla, I truly believe this, there are 5 or so, maybe more other companies that are not talking about the fact that they are into Bitcoin or that they are getting into Bitcoin. And again, we're at the tip of the iceberg. I truly believe that any company that is traded right now on the New York Stock Exchange, that's publicly traded, whatever, that those companies will need to get into Bitcoin or crypto at the very least as a hedge against other things. And so this is happening now. We are at the tip of the iceberg. And it's about to get wild. And so I am on record again as saying that we're going to hit $200,000 this year. There is a possibility in my mind that we will go much higher than that. But we will see. 2021 and into 2022, going to be some crazy times. So buckle up and get ready for the ride. Let me check on Rocket one more time. Pre-market, all right, about the same, $38 again. The Rocket is coming back to earth, in my opinion. But we'll see. We will see. And let me check on Bitcoin again. All right. Broken through 52,000. I wouldn't be surprised if it went back down a little bit, back down below 52 and tested that again. But good signs again with Bitcoin. Now again is a great time to get in. BlockFi.com. Check out my referral link in the description. And until then, till tomorrow, I will see you again. And I hope you have a great day, a prosperous day, and a prosperous year. Peace.